Hey friends, happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us for this 13 Plus Live update. We're going to look in right now. This is the scene that we're seeing in Washington, D.C. as they get ready to vote today on the House floor for a potential new speaker. It's actually been 2 weeks to the day since Kevin McCarthy was ousted as House Speaker. We've seen Steve Scalise enter that race and then drop out of that race, and now we see Ohio Representative Jim Jordan, who is now the nominee heading into today. But of course, he needs to secure 217 votes, and there's a lot of questions about whether or not he can do that, because there were more than 50 Republican holdouts when he was nominated on Friday. So you see that countdown there on the bottom of your screen. That's 9 minutes right now. They're just kind of taking a roll call before they start voting. But something that we can definitely keep an eye on today, because there could be multiple rounds of votes as we head in to the rest of the day. Don't know how long this will take. We did want to give you guys kind of an opportunity to listen in though, and kind of see how this plays out, because again, funding for Israel, big thing that we are keeping an eye on right now, and nothing can really get done in Washington, D.C. until they nominate a new House Speaker. So we know that on the Democratic side, Hakeem Jeffries is who they are going to put in their nomination for as House Speaker, but the Republicans have the majority. So hoping that they can get to that 217 today so that they can begin their work again in Washington, D.C., but at this point, we just don't know, because there's a lot of holdouts in right now. Representative Jordan can only afford to lose 4 votes, or else he will not get that nomination. So we're going to let you guys listen in. We'll let you kind of hear what they are saying and what's happening, and we'll keep you updated with anything that we learn in the next hour or so. And then, of course, we'll have the latest during our 10:30 Fastcast.
On this roll call, 432 members have recorded their presence. The next order of business is the election of speakers of the House of Representatives for the 118th Congress. Nominations are now in order. The chair now recognizes the gentlewoman from New York, Ms. Stefanik.
Mr. Speaker Pro Temp, Madam Clerk, colleagues, on behalf of the House Republican Conference, I rise today to nominate the gentleman from Ohio, Jim Jordan, as Speaker of the People's House. We are at a time of great crisis across America, a time of historic challenges in this very chamber, and a time when heinous acts of terror and evil have been committed against our great ally, Israel. As this body convenes for the sacred responsibility to elect the next Speaker of the People's House, I am reminded of the Book of Esther. For such a time is this. Jim Jordan will be America's Speaker for such a time as this. A time when hardworking American families are struggling under the vice of inflation, not able to afford groceries, heat, or gas because of the trillions and trillions of dollars of reckless spending by failed far-left government. A time when millions are being illegally trafficked and smuggled across our southern and northern borders due to the catastrophic and inhumane wide-open borders of Joe Biden. A time when violent crime is skyrocketing across America, destroying our great cities, suburbs, and small towns, where people no longer feel safe in their homes or in their communities. A time when American energy production has been crushed by Joe Biden's radical, failed, far-left policies, causing seniors, farmers, and families to pay more at the pump and struggle with skyrocketing utility bills. A time when the federal government is weaponized against we the people, who they are supposed to serve, stripping us of our God-given constitutional rights and wrongfully targeting conservatives, Catholics, and even parents at school board meetings. And a time when the people of our closest and most precious ally, Israel, suffered the bloodiest day since the Holocaust, with acts of inhumane evil committed by Hamas terrorists backed by Iran, grotesque atrocities, the beheadings of babies, rapes, kidnappings, and slaughter of women, children, and the elderly, and Israelis and Americans taken hostage. We are here in this very chamber for such a time as this. Jim Jordan will be we the people's Speaker for such a time as this. Our friend and colleague Jim Jordan is a patriot. He is an America First warrior who wins the toughest of fights, going after corruption and delivering accountability at the highest levels of government on behalf of we the people. Jim is the voice of the American people who have felt voiceless for far too long. Whether as Judiciary Chair, conservative leader, or representative for his constituents in West Central Ohio, whether on the wrestling mat or in the committee room, Jim Jordan is strategic, scrappy, tough, and principled. He is a mentor, a worker, and above all, he is a fighter. And the American people know, we know, that Jim Jordan is a winner on behalf of the American people. Almost 10 years ago, many of us sat with our colleague Jim Jordan in this very chamber when Prime Minister Netanyahu delivered his historic joint address, which some of our colleagues across the aisle shamefully boycotted. Bibi pointed out that in this very chamber, we serve under the watchful gaze of Moses. He said, quote, "Overlooking all of us in this chamber is the image of Moses. And before the people of Israel entered the land of Israel, Moses gave us a message that has steeled our resolve for thousands of years. Be strong and resolute, neither fear nor dread them." He went on to say, "My friends, may Israel and America always stand together, strong and resolute. May we neither fear nor dread the challenges ahead. May we face the future with confidence, strength, and hope, end quote. On behalf of the American people, let's face the future with confidence, strength, and hope. Let's elect Jim Jordan, our Speaker of the People's House, for such a time as this. And I yield back.
Gentlewoman yields back. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from California, Mr. Aguilar.
Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, with great respect for this institution, as chairman of the Democratic Caucus, I am directed by the vote of that caucus to present for election to the office of the Speaker of the House of Representatives the name of the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, the pride of Crown Heights, a representative from the state of New York. Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, this is not the history we wanted to make here in the House. It's something that none of us imagined when we were sworn in to this office. We are here because the House has been thrown into chaos. We are here because this hallowed chamber has been led to a breaking point by two dangerous forces: extremism and partisanship. The American people place their faith in us to tackle their most pressing issues: lowering costs, growing the middle class, and standing up to those set on delivering a national abortion ban. The choice before us is simple: come together on a bipartisan path forward, or take us over the cliff. Abandon the extremism that is preventing us from getting things done, or triple down on division and dysfunction. A vote today to make the architect of a nationwide abortion ban a vocal election denier and an insurrection insider to the Speaker of this House would be a terrible message to the country and our allies. Mr. Speaker, it would send an even more troubling message to our enemies, that the very people who would seek to undermine democracy are rewarded with positions of immense power. We are talking about someone who has spent his entire career trying to hold our country back, putting our national security in danger, attempting government shutdown after government shutdown, wasting taxpayer dollars on baseless investigations with dead ends, authoring the very bill that would ban abortion nationwide without exceptions, and inciting violence on this chamber. Even leaders of his own party have called him a legislative terrorist. He once said, quote, "I didn't come to Congress to make more laws." His words speak for themselves. When New Yorkers recovering from Hurricane Sandy needed Congress to act, he said no. When wildfires ravaged the West, destroying homes and businesses, and those residents needed disaster assistance, he said no. When the Mississippi River floods devastated the South and communities across state lines needed Congress to act, he said no. When our veterans were suffering from disease and dying as a result of their service to our country, and Congress passed a bipartisan solution, he said no. When our ally in Ukraine looked to Congress for additional support to help defeat Putin, he said no. And just before Hamas's brutal terrorist attack on Israel, he said no to fully funding military aid for our ally. This body is debating elevating a speaker nominee who has not passed a single bill in 16 years. These are not the actions of someone interested in governing or bettering the lives of everyday Americans. This is nothing less than the rejection of the oath that we swore to uphold as duly elected members of this body. But on this side of the aisle and throughout this chamber, I'm convinced our oath still matters. To fulfill our obligations to the American people, we have no choice today but but to vote for a leader of both character and conviction. When the Congress first began, we proudly stood next to him as our leader and made a promise to every American. House Democrats would work to find common ground on the issues that matter most to the American people whenever possible. That we would stand up to extremism whenever necessary. Only Hakeem Jeffries can be trusted to keep his word. Only Hakeem Jeffries can lead us out of the chaos and towards a path of governance. It brings me immense pride to nominate our friend, the Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, as Speaker. I'm not done yet. He may just be the candidate with the most votes, but he is also the candidate with the most credibility. If the goal is to continue a 30-year march to hollow out our democratic institutions, weaken our democracy, and embolden extremists, there's a candidate for you. If the goal is to continue taking marching orders from a twice-impeached former president with more than 90 pending felony charges, then there is a candidate for you. The world is watching, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. Our allies in Ukraine and Israel are watching and waiting. So let's have this vote, but let's be clear. A vote for the gentleman from Ohio is a vote to turn your back on national security. It's a vote to turn your back on a bipartisan path to fund the government and avoid shutdowns, something we can only do if we reject his nomination. House Democrats are in the minority. We realize that. If House Republicans wanted to elect a speaker without us, then they could have. There is still a path forward for both Democrats and Republicans to come together to elect a speaker who can unite us behind a common purpose, keeping the government open on a bipartisan compromise that won more than 300 votes just 4 months ago in this chamber, taking up an up or down vote on help so Israel can defeat Hamas and Ukraine can defeat Putin, and reassuring the American people that their legislators have their backs. It's that simple, Mr. Speaker, and we can do it today. Let's work together. Let's elect a speaker who will reach out a hand of bipartisanship and deliver for the American people. That is why, once again, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem, I'm proud to nominate Hakeem Jeffries for Speaker and yield back.
The gentleman yields back. The gentleman yields back. The names of the Honorable Jim Jordan, a representative from the state of Ohio, and the Honorable Hakeem Jeffries, a representative from the state of New York, have been placed in nomination. Are there further nominations? There being no further nominations, the chair appoints the following tellers. The gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Stile. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Morelli. The gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Loudermilk. The gentlewoman from Alabama, Ms. Sewell. The tellers will come forward and take their seats at the desk in front of the Speaker's rostrum. House come to order. The roll will now be called, and those responding to their names will indicate by surname the nominee of their choosing. The reading clerk will now call the roll.
Adams. Jeffries. Adderholt. Jordan. Aguilar. Jeffries. Alford. Jordan. Allen. Jordan. Allred. Jeffries. Amodei. Jordan. Armstrong. Jordan. Arrington. Jordan. Auchincloss. Jeffries. Babin. Jordan. Bacon. McCarthy. Baird. Jordan. Balderson. Jordan. Ballant. Jeffries. Banks. Jordan. Barr. Jordan. Bedagan. Jeffries. Bean of Florida. Jordan. Beatty. Jeffries. Bentz. Jordan. Barra. Jeffries. Bergman. Jordan. Beyer. Jeffries. Bice. Jordan. Biggs. Jordan. Bilirakis. Bilirakis. Bishop of Georgia. Jeffries. Bishop of North Carolina. Jordan. Blumenauer. Jeffries. Blunt Rochester. Jeffries. Boebert. Jordan. Bonamici. Jeffries. Bast. Jordan. Bowman. Jeffries. Boyle of Pennsylvania. Jeffries. Burkeen. Jordan. Brown. Jeffries. Brownlee. Jeffries. Buchanan. Jordan. Buck. Buck. Bouchon. Jordan. Budzinski. Jeffries. Burchett. Jordan. Burgess. Jordan. Burleson. Jordan. Bush. Jeffries. Calvert. Jordan. Kamick. Jordan. Caraveo. Jeffries. Carbajal. Jeffries. Cardenas. Cardenas. Carey. Jordan. Carl. Jordan. Carson.
Hakeem Sekou Jeffries.
Jeffries. Carter of Georgia. Jordan. Carter of Louisiana. Jeffries. Carter of Texas. Jordan. Cartwright. Jeffries. Kassar. Jeffries. Case. Jeffries. Caston. Jeffries. Castor of Florida. Jeffries. Castro of Texas. Jeffries. Chavez DeReamer. McCarthy. Shearfillis McCormick. Jeffries. Chu. Jeffries. Siscomani. Jordan. Clark of Massachusetts. Jeffries. Clark of New York. Jeffries. Cleaver. Jeffries. Klein. Jordan. Cloud. Jordan. Clyburn. Jeffries. Clyde. Jordan. Cohen. Jeffries. Cole. Jordan. Collins. Jordan. Comer. Jordan. Connolly. Jeffries. Correa. Jeffries. Costa. Jeffries. Courtney. Jeffries. Craig. Jeffries. Crane. Jordan. Crawford. Jordan. Crenshaw. Jordan. Crockett. Jeffries. Crow. Jeffries. Cuellar. Jeffries. Curtis. Jordan. Davids of Kansas. Jeffries. Davidson. Jordan. Davis of Illinois. Jeffries. Davis of North Carolina. Jeffries. Dean of Pennsylvania. Jeffries. DeGette. Jeffries. De La Cruz. Jordan. DeLauro. Jeffries. Delbene. Jeffries. DeLuzio. Jeffries. DeSaulnier. Jeffries. Desjardins. Jordan. D'Esposito. Zelton. Diaz-Balart. Scalise. Dingle. Jeffries. Doggett. Jeffries. Donalds. Jordan. Duarte. Jordan. Duncan. Jordan. Dunn of Florida. Jordan. Edwards. Jordan. Elsie. Garcia. Emmer. Jordan. Escobar. Jeffries. Eshu. Jeffries. Espaillat. Jeffries. Estes. Jordan. Evans. Jeffries. Ezel. Jordan. Fallon. Jordan. Feenstra. Jordan. Ferguson. Jordan. Finstad. Jordan. Fishbach. Jordan. Fitzgerald. Jordan. Fitzpatrick. Jordan. Fleischman. Jordan. Fletcher. Jeffries. Flood. Jordan. Foster. Jeffries. Fushi. Jeffries. Fox. Jordan. Lois Frankel. Jeffries. Scott Franklin. Jordan. Frost. Jeffries. Fry. Jordan. Fulcher. Jordan. Gates. Jordan. Gallagher. Jordan. Gallego. Jeffries. Garamendi. Jeffries. Garbarino. Zeldin. Mike Garcia. Jordan. Robert Garcia. Jeffries. Garcia of Illinois. Jeffries. Garcia of Texas. Jeffries. Jimenez. McCarthy. Golden of Maine. Jeffries. Goldman of New York. Jeffries. Gomez. Jeffries. Tony Gonzalez. Scalise. Vicente Gonzalez. Jeffries. Good of Virginia. Jordan. Gooden of Texas. Jordan. Gosar. Jordan. Gottheimer. Jeffries. Granger. Granger, Scalise, Graves of Louisiana, Jordan. Graves of Missouri, Jordan. Green of Tennessee, Jordan. Green of Texas, Jeffries. Green of Georgia, Jordan. Griffith, Jordan. Grijalva, Jeffries. Grothman, Jordan. Guest, Jordan. Guthrie, Jordan. Hageman, Jordan. Harder of California, Jeffries. Harris, Jordan. Harshbarger, Jordan. Hayes, Jeffries. Hearn, Jordan. Higgins of Louisiana, Jordan. Higgins of New York, Jeffries. Hill, Jordan. Himes, Jeffries. Henson, Jordan. Horsford, Jeffries. Houchin, Jordan. Houlihan, Jeffries. Hoyer, Jeffries. Hoyle of Oregon, Jeffries. Hudson, Jordan. Huffman, Jeffries. Huizinga, Jordan. Hunt, Jordan. Isa, Jordan. Ivy, Jeffries. Jackson of Illinois, Jeffries. Jackson of North Carolina, Jeffries. Jackson of Texas, Jordan. Jackson Lee, Jeffries. Jacobs, Jeffries. James, James. Jayapal, Jeffries. Jeffries, Jeffries. Johnson of Georgia, Jeffries. Johnson of Louisiana, Jordan. Johnson of Ohio, Jordan. Johnson of South Dakota, Jordan. Jordan, Jordan. Joyce of Ohio, Joyce of Ohio. Joyce of Pennsylvania, Jordan. Camlager Dove, Jeffries. Captor, Jeffries. Kane of New Jersey. Jordan. Keating. Jeffries. Kelly of Illinois. Jeffries. Kelly of Mississippi. Jordan. Kelly of Pennsylvania.
The Honorable Steve Scalise.
Scalise. Khanna. Jeffries. Kiggins of Virginia. McCarthy. Kildee. Jeffries. Kiley. Jordan. Kilmer. Jeffries. Kim of California. Jordan. Kim of New Jersey. Jeffries. Krishnamurthy. Jeffries. Custer. Jeffries. Kustoff. Jordan. LaHood. Jordan. LaLota. Zeldin. Okay. LaMalfa. LaMalfa. Lamborn. Jordan. Landsman. Jeffries. Langworthy. Jordan. Larson of Washington. Jeffries. Larson of Connecticut. Jeffries. Latta. Jordan. LaTurner. Jordan. Lawler.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy.
McCarthy. Lee of California. Jeffries. Lee of Florida. Jordan. Lee of Nevada. Jeffries. Lee of Pennsylvania. Jeffries. Ledger Fernandez. Jeffries. Lesko. Jordan. Letlow. Jordan. Levin. Jeffries. Liu. Jeffries. Lofgren. Jeffries. Loudermilk.
Jim Jordan.
Jordan. Lucas. Jordan. Luetkemeyer. Jordan. Luna. Jordan. Luttrell. Jordan. Lynch. Jeffries. Mace. Jordan. Magaziner. Jeffries. Maliotakis. Jordan. Mann. Jordan. Manning. Jeffries. Massey. Jordan. Mast. Jordan. Matsui. Jeffries. McBath. Jeffries. McCarthy. Jordan. McCall. Jordan. McLean. Jordan. McClellan. Jeffries. McClintock. Jordan. McCullum. Jeffries. McCormick. Jordan. McGarvey. Jeffries. McGovern. Jeffries. McHenry. Jordan. Meeks. Jeffries. Menendez. Jeffries. Mang. Jeffries. Muser. Jordan. Mfume. Jeffries. Miller of Illinois. Jordan. Miller of Ohio. Jordan. Miller of West Virginia. Jordan. Miller Meeks. Jordan. Mills. Jordan. Molinaro. Jordan. Molinar. Jordan. Mooney. Jordan. Moore of Alabama. Jordan. Moore of Utah. Jordan. Moore of Wisconsin. Jeffries. Moran. Jordan. Morelli. Jeffries. Moskowitz. Jeffries. Moulton. Jeffries. Moran. Jeffries. Mullen. Jeffries. Murphy. Jordan. Nadler. Jeffries. Napolitano. Jeffries. Neal. Jeffries. Nagoose. Jeffries. Nails. Jordan. Newhouse. Jordan. Nickel. Jeffries. Norcross. Jeffries. Norman. Jordan. None of Iowa. Jordan. Obernolte. Jordan. Ocasio-Cortez. Jeffries. Ogles. Jordan. Omar. Omar. Jeffries. Owens. Jordan. Pallone. Jeffries. Palmer. Jordan. Panetta. Jeffries. Pappas. Jeffries. Pasquale. Jeffries. Payne.
Gentleman from New York, Hakeem
Jeffries.
Jeffries.
Pelosi. Jeffries. Peltola. Jeffries. Pence. Jordan. Perez. Jeffries. Perry. Jordan. Peters. Jeffries. Pedersen. Jeffries. Pfluger. Jordan. Phillips. Jeffries. Pingree. Jeffries. Pocan. Jeffries. Porter. Jeffries. Posey. Jordan. Presley. Jeffries. Quigley. Jeffries. Ramirez. Jeffries. Raskin. Jeffries. Reschenthaler. Jordan. Rogers of Washington. Jordan. Rogers of Alabama. Jordan. Rogers of Kentucky.
Well, right now,
Jordan.
voting is underway for a new House Speaker. The current nominee, Representative
Rose.
Jim Jordan, said that he felt really good about
Jordan.
that vote walking into it this morning.
Rosendale.
The big question, of course, can
Jordan.
he get the 217
Ross.
votes
Jeffries.
that he needs? Sorry, as I choke on my
Rouser.
Happy Tuesday. This is
Jordan.
Tuesday. Thanks for joining us for this 13th
Roy.
Fastcast. I'm Anna Orsini.
And I'm Carson
Jordan.
Courier. We hope you're all having a great
Ruiz.
day so far. Lots to get to this.
Jeffries.
A lot to get to, and like we said yesterday, the
Rupersberger.
chaos just continues in
Absolutely.
Washington, D.C. Well, we're going to take a look right now.
Jeffries.
We just had that vote up, but kind of some of the scenes
Rutherford.
leading up to that, because it's been a lot of turbulence. in
Scalise.
Washington, D.C.
Absolutely. It's been 2 weeks since former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was ousted from his position. On Friday, Ohio
Ryan.
Representative Jim Jordan
Jeffries.
secured the nomination, but more than 50
Salazar.
Republicans voted against supporting him on the floor.
Jordan.
There could be multiple rounds of voting today, as we just showed
Salinas.
you, currently in one round
Jeffries.
right now, hoping that some of those votes
Sanchez.
will change. As a reminder, he
Jeffries.
can only afford to lose 4 votes. That's
Santos.
Jim Jordan. Here's what he had to say ahead
Jordan.
of today's meeting.
Sarbanes.
We need to get a speaker tomorrow. The American people deserve to have their Congress, their House of Representatives working. And you can't have that happen until you get a speaker. So we need to do that. Plus, we need to be helping
Keep going over
our
and
dearest
over
friend
again.
and colleague, our dearest friend and closest ally, Israel. We need to help them as well.
Now, on the Democratic side, Democrats nominated House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker, and many of them have been pretty outspoken about their current thoughts on Jim Jordan and his nomination.
I was the last person on the floor on January 6th, and the idea that this guy is a Republican nominee to be Speaker, a guy who aggressively agitated the activities that happened on January 6th, I think is disgusting.
So at last check, we were in the P's, I believe, when it came to voting, so we'll let you know kind of how that vote goes. But again, if he doesn't secure all 217 votes, they'll probably go a few more rounds today, so this is something that we'll keep you updated on. However, Jordan does have the support of the former president. Trump posted on Truth Social this morning, quote, Jim Jordan will be a great Speaker of the House. As everyone knows, I have long ago given my complete and total endorsement. So we'll keep you updated on what exactly comes of that vote this morning, if it wraps up before the end of our Fastcast, and if it doesn't, we'll keep you updated throughout the day, of course, joining Carson at 2:30 for the latest numbers and what we're seeing there. And also keeping an eye on something overseas today, another big story, the latest in Israel and the devastation that we're seeing overseas right now.
Updated numbers from Palestine show 3,000 people have been killed in the Gaza Strip since last Saturday. An additional 12,500 people have been injured. Water and food supplies are dwindling there, and the UN says Gaza will run out of food in less than a week. Hospitals have also entered a stage of, quote, absolute collapse due to electricity cuts and fuel shortages, and with no sign of a ceasefire in sight. The border crossing into Gaza from Egypt remains closed this morning, which means they still can't get aid and supplies into Gaza.
In the meantime, President Biden has announced that he will be in Israel tomorrow. He's making his way there now. The president will meet with Israeli officials and, quote, reaffirm the United States' solidarity with Israel. It comes as the United States prepares U.S. troops for a potential deployment for medical and logistical support. The tension between Israelis and Palestinians has gone on for decades, and it's claimed thousands of lives on both sides. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan says that there is a risk that this war could result in a much wider conflict for the region. And here at home today, something we're keeping an eye on is the fentanyl crisis. It's something that we've talked about. It feels like nonstop. And it's not just an issue here, it's across the country.
Absolutely. Now, it will be discussed, though, here at home in a meeting. We want to give you some more information on that. A big focus will be finding a way to come together. Pima County leaders say it's a public health crisis just as much as it is a police crisis. They've both been working to solve it. The problem is they've been working separately. Police agencies have been working on the criminal element and trying to prevent the pills from getting into our communities, while health agencies have been approaching the mental health and addiction element of it. Now they're hoping they can find common ground to address the issue altogether.
Any interjurisdictional cooperative that we form needs to have a law enforcement component, but it also needs to have the detox component, the behavioral health component, the ability to get people the treatment that they need, so that we're not treating the symptom, but we're treating the problem.
The hope is that in bringing all of these agencies together and working alongside law enforcement, they will be able to yield better results. There have been 249 fentanyl overdoses in Pima County this year alone. The deaths impacting everybody from infants to people in their 80s. And with 3 months left to go in 2023, a little less than that, the county says that it is on track to either come close to or break the record number of deaths in a year. And Pima County right now also wants you to weigh in on how we can cut down on emissions here at home.
The county wants your help figuring out how to use federal funds. They're asking for your feedback in an online survey. The survey will ask you things like how climate change affects you, what should be done about it, and how it should be done. They will then submit those recommendations to the EPA next spring.
We do need to be reducing our emissions globally. This is a global problem, but that only happens really at the local level. So it's going to take local governments across the board, cities, counties, states, to make plans to understand where the emissions are coming from, and then in order to be able to reduce those as quickly as possible.
We're told that 2/5 of the county's greenhouse gases come from transportation, and leaders say controlling those emissions will be the biggest part of assessing climate change here at home. If you would like to fill out that survey and weigh in, we do have a link for that up on our website. Just find that story. It's on our homepage right now, and you have a direct link to get to that survey that you can fill out. Well, if you've driven down I-10, you know the section of road that we're talking about. Every single time I have to go that way, I'm like, here we go, add another extra 15, 20 minutes. It's always just chaos, a headache. And everyone wants to know, when is that construction going to be done?
Exactly. So that stretch of roadway, I-10 by Ina, Orange Grove, Cortero Farms, such a slow process getting to where we need to go. And so our very own Shelby Slaughter has new details about it. She has some good and some bad news.
Well, for all you drivers out there, I have some good and some bad news for you. The good news is this project, it's on track with no major setbacks to report. Now, the bad news, it's going to take until the end of 2025 to complete it all. The interstate will be widened from 3 to 4 lanes. When all of this is done, there'll be 4 lanes in each direction from Ina to 22nd Street. And all on and off ramps will be widened to 2 lanes as well. And if you drive out here over the next few months, you'll start to see 9 new bridges going up. ADOT says one big focus of this whole thing is to keep cars moving with as little interruption as possible. That means keeping at least 3 lanes open during the day. Garen Groff tells me while the project is causing a lot of congestion in the area, the goal is to keep all of those neighboring businesses open as the work continues. And some more good news for drivers who use Orange Grove. I'm told that interchange is expected to be completed before the end of 2025, with the goal of it opening next fall. For now, reporting in Tucson, I'm Shelby Slaughter. Back to you.
And of course, as we wait to see who the new House Speaker will be, one city actually in Alaska right now, they are trying to nominate their new mayor there.
Yeah, and it's probably not who you would be thinking about when you're thinking about a mayor of a city. But you know, I'm a fan.
Dream mayor, if I'm going to be honest. This is my dream situation as far as government goes. Look at him.
Yes, we want to just show you right here. Take a look right here at your screen. So you can see this is Miko, the Alaskan Malamute running for mayor. His dad turned campaign manager said politics has become a dog-eat-dog kind of industry. So he figured, why not actually give his dog a shot?
And he says that Miko is a very good boy. He has the right disposition to represent the people of Anchorage. The only downfall, which you can see there, he says he's very easily influenced. So treats, scratches, they will definitely make a difference if you want something to get done by Miko. But he says some local residents have actually already said Miko has their vote. One even said that the big fluffy dog could actually be the one thing that could bring both sides together. He's a beautiful boy.
He really is. I'm confused, though. How many people live in this town? What is happening?
In Anchorage, Alaska? I have no idea. I know it's one of the bigger cities in Alaska.
So this
Anchorage
is just a cute little thing.
I mean, I think so, but the thing is, it could go any direction. Think about how many people.
Remember when Kanye ran for president?
In the last election, yeah, people voted for Kanye. Like, people write in on ballots all the time. So, like, people might be like, you know what? Fine. Let's give it a shot. Kind of like when people choose their, like, brackets for March Madness and they let their dogs pick them. Maybe that's how they'll do it with Miko. Just like, here are the two options. Tell us what you want. So, yeah, very, very cute. Well, we do want to check in one last time on the House Speaker vote, what's happening there, and let you go ahead and listen in on that. We know that the vote, as we headed into this fast cast, it was at P, I believe, and now it is at W. So casting votes, going through those numbers and seeing if they got enough of the votes, 217 again, to make Jim Jordan the official new House Speaker.
At last check, we knew they were about to wrap up, so we're going to go ahead and let you listen in.
The House will come to order. The reading clerk will now call the names of the members who did not answer the first call of the roll.
Bilirakis. Bilirakis. Buck. Emmer. Cardenas. Jeffries. James. Cole.
Mr. Joyce of Ohio.
Joyce of Ohio. Jordan. LaMalfa. McCarthy. Sparts. Massey.
All right, so we have 212 to 200, and then we have 6 for McCarthy, we have 3 for Zeldin, we have 7 for Scalise, we have 1 for Mike Garcia of California, 1 for Amber, 1 for
The House will come to order. The tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 432, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 200 votes. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212 votes. The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 6 votes. Lee Zeldin of the state of New York has received 3. The Honorable Steve Scalise of the state of Louisiana has received 7. The Honorable Mike Garcia of the state of California has received 1. The Honorable Tom Emmer of the state of Minnesota has received 1. The Honorable Tom Cole of the state of Oklahoma has received 1. The Honorable Thomas Massey of the state of Kentucky has received 1. No person having received a majority of the whole number of votes cast by surname, a speaker has not been elected. Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess subject to the call of the chair.
Okay, so that was it, friends. The first round of no progress. It looks like nobody getting enough votes to get that, to secure that speakership. So we know that Jim Jordan got 200. Hakeem Jeffries, who's the Democratic nomination for Speaker, got 212. And there were 432 total votes. McCarthy got 6. Steve Scalise, if you remember, he withdrew, but he got 7, and then 5 others voted for at least one other person. So 5 others received at least a vote, but those, kind of going nowhere because they were just one nomination for one person. So looking at the numbers between Jordan and Jeffries, again, 212 for Hakeem Jeffries, 200 for Jim Jordan, so not where they need to be. Hakeem Jeffries 5 away. So the question is, what happens next? Will they go into a recess and then they'll be doing it all over again? In the meantime, Jim Jordan hopefully trying to change some of those votes so he can get to that 217 threshold. So this is something we'll continue to follow throughout the day. Carson will have more coming up at 2:30. Depending on what they do, if they have gone into a second vote by then. But we hope that you join Carson at 2:30 for the next Fastcast, and we thank you for joining this one, for sticking with our coverage of this vote, and we'll keep you updated throughout the day. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.